Hey, APCSP students. I just got done watching your Flipgrid responses and it made me miss you so much. I hope you are doing well and you did a great job reviewing those sample tasks. I just wanted to give you a little kind of pep talk as you get started on your create task. First of all, it was just so nice to see your faces. Really made me miss you even more, even though I know that's the best part of teaching is seeing you when we're at school, and I really miss it. It's just you know, it was just really nice to see all of you who did respond. So anyway, as you work on the create task each day, there will be just a Google form for you to fill out that kind of just indicates to me that you're there and you have done something on the project, and that'll count as like a 5-point classwork grade for each day. It's going to be the next 12 blocks dedicated to just working on the create task. So hopefully you feel ready to get started, and some of you probably already have. I am so excited to see what you guys come up with. I hope you were inspired by the sample tasks. Don't be, too tempted to steal their ideas, but you can model, emulate, make it your own, same kind of ideas. There was one thing that came up repeatedly in your Flipgrid responses, and that was a lot of people saying that they noticed row 2 was the most commonly missed rubric point. Just hold on a second. Okay, so row 2 is where you have to describe your development process as iterative and incremental. And I think most of the answers that lost the point on row 2, they may have described it as having 2 stages of development where they encountered problems or opportunities, and they describe how they solve those problems or what they did to incorporate something new because of the opportunity. But what they missed out on was saying anything about the iterative nature of the development. Iterative development is when you start with designing something, then you actually put code together, then you test that part of the code, and then you debug any problems before moving on to some new stage of the development. It's a cycle. It's the software development cycle that they want you to describe. So yes, the 2 distinct points are usually something that the sample tasks had described in there, but that's not where they lost the points. They lost the points on not mentioning that it was an iterative process where they repeated that cycle of design, code, debug, test, and then kind of add another feature and go back through it. So I think in the written responses, if they had mentioned that, they would have been better off and more likely to get the point, okay, for that row. But I was so glad to hear you guys describing what you learned by looking at the sample tasks, and I really feel optimistic that you are prepared to get started and do your own project. And I will be here for any questions that you have. I cannot look at your project and tell you yes or no whether you're doing a good job, and I can't help you debug things. You can contact each other and try to get help from each other. But I can't do that. I'm not allowed to give you feedback. Basically, only students talking to each other is okay. And if you're not working together, it might be a little difficult to find somebody to help you with something, but you're allowed to. But I, the teacher, am not allowed to give you feedback on this project. I just have to give you general tips and kind of guide you in the right direction and then let you go and do it on your own. So I will continue to put out a daily post on our Google Classroom each block that you're working on this. It'll tell you what day we're on. I will give you the calendar again and a Google form to fill out, and then you'll just work on your project. So that's the next couple of weeks. And that's really how it would be in class anyway. You know how that went that way when we were doing the Explore task as well. So have fun, happy coding, and hope you get creative.